My name is Emily Keenan, and I received counseling at Lutheran Community Services for 4 years. In 6th grade, my language arts and English teacher, I don't know, the whole class just he was one of our favorite teachers. And then towards the winter time, things just started getting I don't know, they started changing. But we were still kids, so we didn't really look that far into it. I stayed after class a lot with teachers because I really cared about school, and so I stayed with him after school before, and so one day when he asked me to, I think it was a project or something like that, to work on, it didn't seem like anything weird because I'd done that before. We went to the back of the classroom, and I thought that was just because that was where my desk is, and then that was the first day that the abuse started. I felt like if I had to tell people, then it would become this big thing, and it would always be, people would pity me, or I'd have to talk about it, or be this, and it was almost just I'd rather just forget that it ever happened type of thing. But it definitely made school really hard. There were days I would just walk out of the classroom without any explanation, and teachers would always call my parents and say I was acting out, or I was this, that, and the third, or they saw a change, or that type of stuff. And at one point, all I was focused on was my schoolwork, and then this kind of turned into all I was focused on was making it through the school day without falling apart. It kind of felt like my childhood was robbed from me, and I kind of went 11 going on, 20 or... I don't know where I'd be without Lutheran, to be honest. I kind of went into it already I don't want to do this, I don't want to talk about this. I mean, I'd kept everything to myself for almost 4 years, so it was I already was against it, and then I had some counselors I didn't like, and so that just made it even worse. So by the time I came here, I was very even when I first met Tiffany, we kind of laugh about it because I was I don't want to be here, I don't like you, I don't like any of this. And then 4 years later, she's just somebody I'm really close with. It actually made my relationship with my parents worse when I first came out because they didn't know how to handle it, and it was almost like everything they did was exactly opposite of what I needed, and that wasn't on purpose or their fault, but they didn't know what to do with it. And my dad wanted attorneys, and he wanted the guy in jail, and he wanted to do all this stuff, and I was just I'm not ready for that. And it kind of felt like nobody was listening to me because like any parents, they just didn't know how to handle it, and they just wanted to do something, and I wasn't ready to do something, so it was kind of hard. Tiffany was pretty much heaven sent when it came to that area, and definitely a big reason that my parents and I were able to find our way, and instead of all being on separate pages come together, was because of her. And I know she always tries to tell me that it was my hard work, or it was this or it was that, but it was Tiffany. And when I was angry at my parents for doing, for wanting this or wanting that, she'd help me understand their side, and she'd help them understand my side, and really she was the person that brought us back together. Supporting them means supporting, young children and young adults, and it's a really cool feeling knowing that, a little girl who's going through something, or, a child who's scared or anything like that, you stepping in and supporting Lutheran means that they can support that kid. I would be on probably a whole different life path if I hadn't come here. I don't know, I feel like it's just counseling and stuff like that really saved me in a sense.